Hey guys, long time no see. I haven't posted in I think like a month, which I'm very sorry. But this new mom life has really kicked me in the butt. It's been a roller coaster to say the least. I went through a few days without any sleep at all. Some nights she would sleep pretty well and I only had to get up a few times. Other days she just did not sleep at all. So it's been tough, but we kind of have somewhat of a routine going. She's been sleeping a lot better through the night. Not sleeping through the night because she's still way too young for that. She has to eat in the middle of the night. But she's going a little bit of a longer stretch. Like some nights she'll sleep for like 4 or 5 hours, get up, change her diaper, eat, go back down, and like she goes back down easily. Before it was a struggle to put her back down to sleep, but she's kind of getting the hang of things. Some nights are better than others for sure, but I think we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel where she is more consistent with her sleep. But with all that being said, the whole point of that was to explain that I finally have been sleeping better and sleeping more, so I feel energized and motivated to film. And also she's sleeping, so I actually have time to film, because before there was just my hands were full with her. So but yeah, I'm here, I'm back, and I figured what better video to come back with than my birth story. So I gave birth to her at 39 weeks. If you saw my last video, those last clips that I filmed were 3 days before I gave birth. So at 39 weeks and 2 days, I had an OB appointment at 4 o'clock. Now, that morning, like early in the morning, 1-2 a.m., I woke up with horrible back pain. What I would have imagined to have been back labor, which, spoiler alert, I did get back labor, but I'll get into that later. But yeah, it was unbearable pain. I could not sleep that night, no matter if I was on my right side, my left side, my like elevated sitting up, or turn around on all fours. Like I couldn't get any type of sleep. So that was like the first sign, I guess, of early labor. So that pain lasted the whole day. It did not go away after a few hours, which sucked. But a few hours, like probably 3 or 4 hours before my appointment, I started feeling like period cramps. They were random, like not at all consistent. I really didn't notice them until I actually thought about it and was like, oh, I'm feeling like a cramp right now. Like maybe this is what Braxton Hicks, because up until this point I've never gotten Braxton Hicks contractions. So I was just thinking like, oh, maybe these are finally the Braxton Hicks contractions that everyone's talking about. So I didn't think too much of it. But then like maybe an hour before my appointment, and especially the drive to my appointment, they started getting a little bit closer together and more consistent. Not like 10 minutes apart or anything like that consistent, but I was very aware that I was having these cramps. So yeah, I get to my appointment, I'm still feeling these cramps. My doctor asks me, you know, regular questions, and then I mentioned to him that I felt these cramps, and that, you know, I was thinking like maybe this could be something. He was like, okay, we can check your cervix. And again, up until this point I've never been checked, which I found weird because as I mentioned a lot, I watch a lot of YouTube videos on pregnancy and babies and everything because I just wanted to be prepared. And a lot of women were saying that at their 36-week appointment it was pretty common for their doctor to check their cervix. Like it was just routine to do it at 36 weeks or 37, whatever. Definitely before 39 weeks. And if I had not said anything, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have checked my cervix. I was 39 weeks and 2 days that day. So I feel like I definitely should have had my cervix checked by then. So I said something, he checked, and he said that it was 2 to 3 centimeters. Side note, getting your cervix checked is such horrible pain. Like, as if we don't have to go through so many things already. Like, it just, why couldn't it be easier, you know? But anyways, I really hated that. And they did at the hospital too, and I don't want to experience it again, but I'm gonna have to experience it again because I want more kids. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Anyways, he checks me, he says I'm 2 to 3 centimeters, and he like cleared the membrane or whatever. I don't know, I forget what he said, but that part also hurt. So he basically just told me like, if these cramps, contractions, which what they were, get any closer, go to the hospital, you'll be in labor, you'll have a baby by tonight or tomorrow. If you hear any baby noises, it's because there's a baby behind you. So yeah, I left my appointment, and on the drive back home, the contractions got even closer and even more intense, and they actually started hurting. So I'm pretty sure whatever he did up there, like, kind of kickstarted things. So I pretty much labored at home for a few hours, but around like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, I started to feel the contractions in my back. And that's when things got really, really painful and unbearable. And I was timing my contractions, and they were about 5 minutes apart. Some were more, some were less. So I decided to wait a little bit longer. So I took a nice hot shower to try and relieve some of the pain in my back. It didn't really help. It just was really painful. I was in so much pain that I started crying, and I was like, okay, we should probably go to the hospital now because this pain is not getting any easier to deal with. So we get to the hospital, we register, they wheel me up in a wheelchair to the room. I change into a gown, they put the IV in, you know, all the basic stuff. And so yeah, I'm pretty much just in this bed, laboring, in pain. An hour or so goes by, the nurse comes in, she asks me if I want pain medication, and I said yes. So I didn't want to get the epidural yet, just because I didn't want to get it too early, because once you get it, you can't get out of bed, and I just didn't want to be in bed the whole time. So I got, honestly, I don't know what it was. All I remember was she had me lie on my side and put a needle in my butt, and then she put like 2 medications or like 1 medication and 1 something else in the IV, and then she says when you start to like feel the medication or feel drowsy, to close your eyes. Now I didn't really feel it, but after like 10 seconds she asked me if I felt it, and I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I closed my eyes, and it was a wrap. I could not open my eyes. I struggled. I remember someone came in to draw my blood, and I literally, like, I was trying to do it, but I couldn't. Like, I just couldn't open my eyes. But yeah, I was drowsy. He drew my blood, and that's the last thing I remember. I knocked out for a few hours. I would say that the pain medication wore off at like 2-3 a.m. and then I felt the contractions again in my back, which was just, I wish I did not have back labor. It was horrible. But yeah, these contractions were even worse than before, because obviously I'm progressing through labor. So I was moaning through them, which I really did not think that I was going to be like a groan, moan, in pain, in labor type of person. But it was just how I dealt with the pain. I don't know. Really, every time I had a contractions, I just like hold the bed and just moaned right through it. It really was getting pretty bad. At like 7 o'clock in the morning, a nurse came in, just to like check my vitals and check everything, and I asked her when I could get the epidural, because I couldn't take it. I really didn't want to get the epidural. I wanted to tough it out and do it, but the back pain was just too unbearable for me to keep going. If I wasn't having back labor, I think I probably could have gone at least a little bit longer, maybe not all the way without the epidural, but I probably could have toughed it out for another few hours. But no, it was really painful. So I asked for the epidural. She said that I had to wait till 8 o'clock. Well, I asked her to check my cervix first, because I didn't Again, I didn't want to get it too early. So in my head, I was like, okay, if I'm at like a 6, I'll just get the epidural because I can't take this pain for much longer. But she said I had to wait till 8 o'clock because that's when the doctor comes in so that she can check my cervix and then give me the okay for the epidural. So at this point, you know, I'm asking for the epidural because I'm in pain and I want it to go away now. The fact that I had to wait a whole hour before feeling pain relief, I was feeling kind of desperate. And I was really dreading this next hour of having to deal with these contractions. But thankfully, I don't know how, I don't know why, but the doctor, I guess the nurse called the doctor or something, I don't know. But basically the doctor told the nurse that she was okay to check my cervix. I guess it's only allowed for the doctor to do it, but she said that it was okay for the nurse to do it. So nurse checks my cervix. She says, sorry about the baby. She says that I'm at like a 5 or 6. Oh, and I forgot to mention that when I first got to the hospital and got into the room finally, the doctor checked my cervix and she said that I was at 3 centimeters. So now at like, it was probably like 7:45. The nurse tells me I'm at like a 5 or 6. So I was like, great, let's get this epidural right now. But it really wasn't right now. You have to like sign papers and they like go through what an epidural is and, you know, a lot of formalities before I actually get this pain relief. But after all that was all said and taken care of, the anesthesiologist sets everything up. She has me sit on like the side of the bed and they first give you like a numbing shot, which she said feels like a bee sting, but it really didn't hurt at all. And then she proceeds to put like the thing for the actual epidural like medication part. So the first time she put it in, it hurt kind of bad. I don't think it was supposed to hurt that bad, so I said like, ow, this hurts. And there was 2 anesthesiologists there, and the one that was watching everything happen, she asked me like what I was feeling, and then she said, okay, it's not advancing. So they tried it again, and the second time like did not hurt at all. I didn't feel like instant relief. I distinctly remember feeling 2 full contractions before I stopped feeling them at all. But when I finally did feel the pain relief, it was just so blissful to not feel any pain. You know, I really didn't want to get the epidural, but I'm very glad I did because it was just a great experience after that. So yeah, I got the epidural, felt no pain, everything was great. But the resident came in because at this point my water hadn't broken, so she came in to break it, you know, after I got the epidural so I wouldn't feel the pain. So when she was breaking my water, she said, oh, it's like right there. Like, I guess my water probably could have broken within the next hour on its own, but she did it. It was weird to see her just holding it. Special guest, she woke up. So where was I? Oh yeah, so she broke my water, so now labor was gonna, you know, progress a little bit faster. So after she broke my water, I pretty much just chilled out. I took a nap. When I woke up from my nap, they checked my cervix again, and I was at 9 centimeters, which I was just baffled because A, wasn't feeling anything, and B, I just could not believe that I was about to have a baby. I was about to have you. It was very surreal for them to tell me 9 centimeters. Like, I literally could not believe that I was like about to start pushing and about to have a baby. But no more than an hour after that, they checked my cervix again. I was at 10 centimeters and I was ready to start pushing. So they started setting everything up. It started looking like a scene from Grey's Anatomy. I just saw so many nurses and doctors around me doing things. And they lowered like the bottom of the table, had me put my legs up, and then they went through how to push, which, to be honest, I don't think they explained it that well to me because I was having a hard time trying to understand how to push the way they wanted me to. And also, I could not feel anything. I couldn't feel my contractions. I couldn't feel her at all until like she was crowning, and I felt like a little bit of pressure, no pain at all. So they pretty much had to tell me when I was having a contraction and when to start pushing. And then when I was pushing, they were, you know, coaching me through how to do it, and it just, what they were saying wasn't very helpful, because I had to like take a deep breath in, push, but not push out any air, but also not scrunch my face. And it like, none of it made sense. But nonetheless, I pushed her out. So I think I was pushing for like 45 minutes, and she started crowning. They asked me to feel her head, and I just felt like squishy and wet, and like her hair, and it was just so bizarre. I still was in shock, like could not believe that I was about to have a baby in like a few minutes. Once her head was right there, they called in like the doctor, like the main doctor, because at this point it was just the resident there who was coaching me through the pushing. And then once her head was there, they called in the doctor. And so I think in like three contractions she came out, and I like pulled her out, and that was also so bizarre to just like, I cried like instantly when I saw her. Oh, I'm gonna cry right now. It was just crazy. I really, like, I couldn't believe that I was having a baby. Like, literally gonna have a physical, like, hold this human that's been inside me for 9 months. Like, I couldn't believe it up until, like, I was holding her. And, like, literally pulled her out of me and put her on my chest. Like, that's when it finally was real and was like, wow. This little baby is mine. You're mine. This little kitty patootie. And yeah, I instantly fell in love. She was born at 1:21 p.m. 6 pounds, 7 ounces, 19.5 inches long. And I think she's gonna be tall like her daddy, because she's got some big hands. And she's just so long. Like, I don't know. I think she's gonna be tall. Which is gonna be weird because I'm only 5'1". So, and her dad's 6'1". So, she's taller than me. It's gonna get a little bit awkward, but it's fine, I guess. But yeah, she was born healthy, happy. Just a perfect little baby. But yeah, guys, that was the story of how this baby was born. With the epidural, pushing this baby out I did not feel it. It was painless. It was honestly a really great experience. I'm happy that I did get the epidural, and that I didn't put myself through torture for no reason. Well, not for no reason, but I didn't have to. Like, it wasn't like there was no other resort, you know? But yeah, that's the story of how this little baby was born. I hope you enjoyed this video. I do want to film more, but it is kind of difficult because I have to wait for her to fall asleep, and then, as you guys witnessed throughout this video, she woke up, so it's not even guaranteed for me to be able to film when she's sleeping. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be posting every week like I usually do, but I will try my best, because I definitely have a few video ideas that I want to do. But if you guys have any suggestions or anything that you want to see, maybe that have to do with her, I do have a few videos that aren't pregnancy or baby related, but I do want to do a lot of baby videos, only because not only do I want to help you guys with like any tips and tricks that I have, or answer any of your questions about pregnancy or motherhood, but I also want to document all her little milestones and her growing up, because she's only gonna be this small literally today. Like tomorrow she's gonna grow just a little bit more, and the next day just a little bit more, and then one day she's gonna be a full grown human adult. And it's gonna be weird and it's gonna be sad. So I'm gonna miss having this little baby be this small. Look at how cute you are. Not that she won't be cute when she's bigger, but I'm gonna miss seeing her this small. So I want to document that. But yeah, that's it for this video. Again, leave any suggestions for other videos you want to see down below. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this video and hearing my birth story. Subscribe if you want a friend, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. And that was it. That was the story of how you were born. And I'm sweating balls.